Hey guys, it's Lin from Australian Tabletop Gaming Network here, and I'm very excited to bring you guys the new Dragon Ball Super card game starter deck. Now, the game is launching very soon on the 28th, and we've got this to preview. This starter deck is called the Awakening. There's only one type of starter deck at launch, which is a little bit disappointing because of how good this is. I wish there was a little bit more variety on the starter deck. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I want to apologize for my voice here because I've got a cold, but I didn't want to wait. I wanted to bring this to you guys as soon as possible. So let's get straight into it. So I'm just gonna review this deck, just go over all the cards. You get an instruction booklet, which is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but even if you have a very basic understanding of card games, going through this rulebook should teach you the game. If not, look up the videos on the official website. They are pretty good at teaching you the game. The announcer pronounced Saiyan weird, which is strange because, you know, there's like 300 episodes of anime for you to find out how to pronounce it from. But other than that, the video is pretty good. And this is the playmat, which you can see here right now. It's good for beginners to show you where to put everything. Alright, now here's the real meat of this pack. So this is a complete starter deck, legal. Of course, every time you do these on stream, you have trouble getting into the pack. So yeah, tournament legal, 51 card, 1 leader, 50 playable card. I believe 6 extra cards, extra as in like that's a card type, not more than you need. 6 extra cards and the rest battle cards. So let's go through these bad boys. Alright, well, this one is very pretty, but let's start on the other side first. So this is your leader card, so which is a double-sided card that you'll flip during the game. After you take enough, hold on, let me focus on that. After you take enough life card damage, you can flip this. So when this card attacks, choose up to one of your blue energy card and switch it to active mode. So it recover you one of your resources, and of course it has the awaken ability that every single leader card has. So the way this in this game you can't float mana like you can in like Magic and some other card games. So this won't let you accelerate, but it will make just, you know, it will free up one of your energy to use it on something else. And in this, the combo system, sometimes things that give you plus 1,000 onto your combo will cost 1 energy. So it's basically make your deck run efficiently, you know. And sometimes you can also catch an enemy by opponent off guard because you would attack and they would think, oh, you can't do plus 1,000 combos because you don't have any energy left. But nope, Super Saiyan Godson Goku will flip one of those back up so you can use it again. And let's look at the, oh, look at this. The foiling in this game is phenomenal. And it really captures the energy, you know, the feel of Dragon Ball Z. So this is SSGSS Goku, the Soul Striker. Get ready for some weird names in this game. Okay, so it's permanent. During your turn, if you have 5 or more energy, this card gains plus 5,000 power, which is pretty good. You know, by the time you flip, you should, if you don't have 5 energy already, you should be close. And this deck is entirely blue, and blue is the color for ramp. So getting to 5 energy pretty quickly shouldn't be that hard if you put the right cards in. And auto, when this card attack, draw 1 card, which is very good to have on your awakened leader. In fact, I kind of think any awakened leader, oh, let me focus that again, that doesn't have that draw 1 card is not going to see much play. The other ability is got choose up to 2 of your blue energy and switch it to active mode. So same ability on the other side, except now you get 2. It combo very well with some cards in blue, which we'll get to later. So let's just put this bad boy here. And let's go. You get 2 foil or holographic or whatever you want to call it cards in your starter deck, and the other one is Vegeta, Prince of Speed. Not crazy about the name. It's not like Vegeta was known to be particularly fast. And let me focus now. And Prince of Speed kind of make him sound a little bit like a drug dealer. But the card is great. Evolve, so you can pay. It costs 5 to play, but you can pay 4 to play it on another Vegeta card instead to evolve it. And it has double strike, so when it hit, it will do 2 damage instead of 1. And its auto ability is what makes this card great. When you play this card, if you have 5 or more energy, draw 2 cards. Of course, you wouldn't play this card until you have 5 or more energy, because drawing 2 cards is great. In this game, card advantage matters a lot, and being able to draw 2 cards, and I mean that's how many cards you get to draw when you awaken. That's a massive advantage. So one thing I want to mention, for things like Evolve and any other ability that refer to a character like Vegeta, Trunks, or Trunks' future, you're not just looking at the name. You don't need to look at the name at all. You're looking at down here. Oh, let's get that focus. Character, Vegeta. So I imagine, so there's of course there's a difference in like Kid Trunks and Future Trunks. So cards that specifically reference Trunks' future, you won't be able to evolve Kid Trunks or any other version of Trunks. And same thing I imagine will be with Vegeta when Majin Vegeta come in. So just to keep that in mind, you get 2 of this, only 1 foil. Other ones will be later down the track in this pack. So these 2 cards, the leader card and the Vegeta card, is one of the few starter deck exclusive cards. I think they are 4. So, and anything with this ST here, once again, focus. Anyway, just take my word. Oh, there we go. ST here is starter deck exclusive. This one is God Rush Son Goku. Once again, it has a evolve text for Son Goku. In case you're wondering what's with Son Goku, I don't think it ever come up a lot in the English dub, but that's in the Japanese, that's his full name. That's Goku's full name, Son Goku, because he's a version. In original Dragon Ball, he's a version of the Monkey King Sun Wukong, and that's the Japanese name for Sun Wukong. All right, let me focus that again. So it has double strike, which is always good. Auto, when you play this card, choose all of your opponent's battle card with blocker and return them to their hand. So there are a lot of Goku cards in this starter deck, and depending on how you take your build, you might be taking out a lot of the Goku cards, or you might be doubling down on Goku and including more Goku cards. But even if you take out all your Goku cards, this is one of the Goku cards you should consider keeping in, because this ability is strong. In this game, blocker cards pretty much can nullify a single attack. If you have a blocker card in play, you have to attack and kill the blocker first, or they will just tap it to nullify an attack. Keep in mind though, this card bounces those blockers back to their hand. It doesn't get rid of them. So count how many blockers you're bouncing, like count how many combo power you just give them before you play it. So you get 4 copies of this. Let's put all the Gokus up there. Another Goku. This one also very good. Evolve. It costs 5 and it evolves for 4. So far, all I've seen is evolve cost is always 1 less than the actual cost. Oh, and one thing I want to mention. You see up here? How it says 5 and 2 blue. So you are not paying 7. You're paying 5, and at least 2 of them have to be blue. So it's a little bit different from what you're used to in like Magic and stuff. So keep that in mind. But here though, you're paying 4, 2 blues, and 2 normal. 2 of any colors, of course. You don't have to worry too much about colors in your starter deck because, like I said, it's completely blue. This one also have double strike. When a card evolves into this card gains dual attack, which is once per turn, when this card attacks, switch this card to active mode after the battle for the duration of the turn. So this gets to attack twice if you evolve it on the turn you evolve it. And it has double strike. So this card, if you manage to catch an enemy off guard, you are going to be potentially dealing 4 damage, which is half of the health in this game. It's a very powerful card, and if somebody is running a Goku heavy deck, people are gonna want to be very careful with letting them keep Gokus on board to evolve. But at some point, they can, like, the way it works in this game, they can just play a cheaper Goku and immediately evolve it anyway. So you're gonna need an answer to this kind of things. You're gonna, if they have a lot of energies left open, you're gonna want to watch out for this kind of thing. You get 2. This is also another starter deck exclusive. You get 2. Other than the Vegeta, this is probably the reason you would buy 2 starter decks. Slightly cheaper Goku, it costs 3. Once again, evolve for 2. This one does not have double strike, so it will only be doing measly 1 damage. Oh, let me focus that again. Come on, camera, cooperate. So I'll just read it out, okay? When you play this card, choose up to 1 of your energy and switch it to active mode. It's okay. It's a good ability, getting that energy back. But I think when push comes to shove and you start cutting cards from this to make room for cards to act, this will probably be one of them to go. You can probably fit a different 3-drop with a stronger power. This is also another starter exclusive card. You get 2 of these. So, and there's a other Vegeta, non-foil. Here, and this is just a common, a Goku that is very good, and any deck that's running a lot of Gokus should have 4 of these. Kind Saiyan Son Goku. When you play this card, look at up to 7 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 blue Son Goku among them and add it to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. It's a card that replaces itself in your hand. It's always great. So it only costs 1. It's 5,000, so you're not gonna be doing a lot of like damage. Like you might take out, you might attack an exhausted or whatever they call it in this game. I have forgotten. A battle card, a cheap exhausted battle card that's worth 5,000 or less. But other than that, you put it down and you go look for a Goku to evolve into. Any of the super strong Gokus, really good Goku cards that I just showed you. Like I said, but the thing is though, it's not a proper Judah. Like you only look at the top 7 cards. So if you're not running like 20 Gokus, I think this card is, if you're not doubling down on the Goku strategy, maybe you don't want to include this card. Alright. Mighty Striker Son Gohan. This one is a pure beater. Not that complicated, but you pay 4 and you get 25,000 power, which is a lot, and it does double strike, 2 damage. If you have a slot for a 4-drop big beater, you keep this in. You get 2 of these. It's only a common, so you'll be getting it in the booster packs as well. Yeah, it's a solid card. So there's a couple Son Gotens. These are probably will be other cards that will go because they're good, like 2-drop for 15,000 power, but no ability. You'll probably find better 2-drops to include. But if there's a hole in your curve and you need to add things, Son Goten. Now, Vegeta. I'm as a Vegeta fan, I'm loving all the Vegeta cards in this game because they're so good. This one have, I think, one of the best abilities in this game, which is critical. So usually when you deal damage to an opponent, they will take that life card and add it to their hand. It's part of the combat mechanic in this game. So when you're dealing damage to them, they're getting card advantage. But critical means that they can't add that card to the hand. Instead, it goes to the drop area, which is the discard pile or graveyard or whatever you call it in other games. So this is a very powerful ability. For 3, it's only 15,000. So, you know, like compared to that 2 for 15,000 Sun Goten, slightly less power. But this 15,000 is an attack that opponent will want to block. So this kind of card, and it seems critical is a bit of a theme with Vegetas in this first set at least. The Vegeta leader also have ability to gain critical, and there's, I think, at least 2 more Vegeta cards I've seen that have critical. So I think there is going to be some room for a critical Vegeta deck. Trunks, 2 for 15,000. Same as Goten, which is of course same age, they friends. And Bulma. I think this is one of those cards that is quietly very good. It's one Bulma God Tempter. It's a tutor, which is a term from Magic, means you get to go look for another card. When you play this card, choose up to 1 Whiz with energy cost of 4 or lower from your deck and add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So it's very specific tutor. And as you can see, the power is very low, but this card is really good. Why? Because in this game, there are no dead cards. Like, you don't want to be flooded with battle cards. You don't want to be flooded with extra cards because then you don't have combo powers. But other than combo powers or like attackers, but other than that, every card in your hand you can turn it into energy, and you can combo. So, and this card, like I said, it replaces itself, so it's very good. And you'll see it in a minute. They are very good targets for how to go search. And the 1,000 doesn't matter because once you put it on the battle, if the opponent wants to kill it, it takes them 1 attack. It doesn't matter if it is 1,000 or 15,000. Like, yes, they don't have to combo up, but you know, it'll take them 1 attack to kill it, and you're not gonna defend it once it hit the field. But if they ignore it, you can just when they attack, you can just combo to give your whatever defender 5,000. It's great. It's a great card. So energy boost Beerus. You get 2 of these. Another I mean, this is just uncommon, so you're gonna find it in the booster pack, but you know, when you get 2-star deck, you want 4 of these, I think. Because it's double strike, once again, good ability. Let me focus down. Auto, when you play this card, if you have 5 or more energy, choose up to 1 opponent battle card and KO that card. No restriction, any battle card, exhausted or active, KO it. It's a great ability, so you, of course, want to wait until 5 or more energy is up to play it. It's 20,000, which is high attack power, but maybe not that crazy high for 4 cost, because you saw that Gohan with double strike and 25,000, but seriously, that ability though, that ability. Okay, and this is the Whiz that Bulma God Tempter will be searching for. They even gave you a little visual clue. Look at that ice cream, and there Whiz has it. This is great. Sorry about that. This is great because this fit into Blue's accelerating or ramping, whatever you call it, strategy. When you play this card, add 1 card to your energy from top of your deck. This is one of the best acceleration in Blue because you're not even adding the energy from your hand. You're just getting another card and straight away adding it to the energy adding it to the top of your deck. So every time, you should run 4 of these, and you should run 4 Volma, and every time you play Volma, you'll be getting one of these to accelerate into. Now, it's pretty weak for 4. It's only 10,000. But, you know, that ability is really good. And it's another body. And a lot of leader cards before they evolve are 10,000. So even with an attack with this, they still gonna have to spend a battle card or some other strategy to make sure they don't take that hit, because in this game, when it ties, the attacker wins. So, great card. Taunting Piccolo. It's a blocker. You get 4 of these. Like I said before, a blocker, let's read out the text. When one of your other card is attacked, you may switch this card to rest mode and change the target of the attack to this card. So basically, you tie up one of the attackers, because they either have to attack this card first to kill it, or if they attack a different target and you don't want them to attack that card, you just say, no, you're attacking this one now. Good power, but I don't think I want to pay 2 for any blockers. I think you would just... I'm not sure if there are multiple 1-cost blockers for each colors yet. Every color at least have 1. But, you know, eventually in the game there will be. And I don't think you want to pay 2s for your blockers. You want to pay 1. And, you know, because it's a very disposable card. Because you don't care about that 10,000. Once you use it as a blocker, you're probably not going to want to combo up. So, well, I guess the 10,000 power makes sure that they can't take out your blocker cheaply with weaker cards. But late game, like, you're not gonna wanting to use your resources to protect your blockers. So, but still, good card, especially if you want more than 4 blockers in your deck right now, because the other 4 in your deck is a 1-drop Guardian North Kai. Same blocker, 5,000 power. Like, in my opinion, power doesn't really matter for a blocker right now. Because all the destructions I've seen so far, extra cards or a card ability that destroys stuff, a lot of them reference cost rather than power. I think I've seen one in yellow, a villain card that's you can get rid of a number of cards adding up to a certain power. I believe it was 30,000. I guess, I mean, if they're using that to get rid of your cheap little 5,000, that's fine. So this deck has 6 extra cards, and they have 2 Encouraging Presence, Monarcha, I don't know how to pronounce that one. And this one is Activate Main, so you can only activate it during your main phase, so remember that. You can't declare an attack and then try and surprise your opponent with this. Your leader card gain Double Strike, so it will be inflicting 2 damage instead of 1 when attacking for the duration of the turn. And then draw 1 card. So it replaces itself, that's great. It only costs 1, that's also great. I am not sure it's a good fit in this deck. It's a good card, but in this deck, you know, it gives you 1 extra damage and draw 1 card, but your extra slots are limited. You can probably find a better extra card that fit with this leader. But I mentioned that Vegeta leader before, and that is one of the great upgrade paths for this starter deck, to change the leader to that rare Vegeta leader, which can give itself critical. So what that Vegeta does is you can add 1 of your life card to your hand, so basically self-inflicted damage. And if you do that, you get critical for the turn. So that's great. Like, yes, taking a damage, but you can determine, if you're sitting on like 5, you can flip to your more powerful side. You can awaken at your own leisure. Like, you don't have to wait until the opponent, because in a lot of the games, in this game, you will be sitting at 5 for a while the opponents get all his ducks in a row to make that big push. So because they don't want to let you awaken your leader and have a lot of turns with your more powerful side. So when that is happening, well, you can't do that to Vegeta. Vegeta's just going to awaken, give himself critical. And like I said, critical is a very powerful ability. And if you have critical and double strike, and you get another card replacing itself, well, that's a must block attack. And suddenly, you have an extra card from Vegeta's ability, and you have an extra card from Monaka. That's more cards to combo with. So you can push through that 2 damage that they don't get the damage cards added to their hand for, and that's great. If you're running Vegeta, I think you should be running 4 of these. With Coercion, it's the last 4 cards, last extra card as well. It is a counter attack card, so as soon as they declare an attack, even before the powers that trigger from attacks, you can play this attack. So they won't get their triggers if you play this attack. So it says negate the attack, then choose up to 1 of your energy and switch it to active mode. So it costs 1. You have to have 1 free to be able to play it, but you get it back straight away to pay for your other plus 10,000 combo cards. So it's great. You get 4 of these. You'll probably be keeping it unless you drastically change the strategy of your deck and you want to free up some extra slots. Great card. Not as powerful as some other negates. Every single color has an equivalent, a 1 cost counter attack. Negate the attack with a different ability. Some of the other color ones are a little bit stronger. It's a little bit stronger than getting your energy back. But this one is still awesome. So that's the deck, and the reason I love it is because there's, as you can see, there's not a lot of fluff in this. Like there's a couple of no ability cards. There's only 2, and there's Goten and Trunks, and even then they are powerful for their cost. A lot of the, like all the Star Deck exclusive cards are good. All the Gokus play very well together. The Bulma and Whis go really well together. The 6 extra cards they give you are really good. This is a solid deck. If you buy 2 of these, you can have a really good deck. I'm not saying you're going to be winning any tournaments, but this is a very good start to get into the game, which I love. A new game should always have a good starter deck for new players to get into. Like a starter deck and a few boosters should feel satisfying, and I'm really glad that this game is starting on the right foot for on this aspect. Slightly disappointed because in Japan, when this game first came out, there's some changes from the Japanese version to here. But when this first came out, there were 2 starter decks, Goku and Vegeta. We're only getting the Goku, and it's a pure blue deck. So it would be great if there was another starter deck of similar quality in another color, maybe like a Frieza, like a villain one, or whichever. A golden Frieza would have been nice, if you don't want 2 good guys. But hey, this deck is great. Pick one up if you're really interested in starting, and maybe a special pack set, which keep an eye on our channel. I will be opening 2 of these at some point. So this is it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on ATGN.